Especially the kids that they could be running too fast.
Yeah.
Almost. All right, gonna call the meeting to order. If I could have everybody stand and pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. Mary Beth is here. Janice is not here. Ken Roman is here. Gordon Anderson is here. Jesse Casino is here. Paul Ellers and Matt Lauser. Minutes of the previous board meeting.
I move we approve them.
I'll second.
The motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes of the previous board meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say aye. No opposed. The clerk's report.
All right, we did have our open book as well as our border review. So those have been completed and submitted and changes to the county. So that finalizes the assessments for that. I did complete the rural insurance audit for our payroll. So that has been completed and submitted as well. I just recently took in our voting equipment to the county. Annually, it has to be inspected to make certain everything is as should be. So that has been taken in.
All right, thank you. The treasurer's report.
Janice isn't here, but it is on the back of your agendas.
I'll make a motion, we approve the finance or the treasurer's report.
I'll second that motion.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve the treasurer's report. Is there any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say aye. There's no opposed. Board comments?
I've got a couple that deal with the recycle center. We had to close it one day when it was really, really hot. On Saturday, Matt had gotten sick. Josh had gotten sick. And he came in and picked up the trash from the beach, but he felt too sick to work, so we closed it that day. And there was a sign on it saying that we were gonna be open on Monday from 1 to 2, but not everybody saw that. Someone suggested we have a town Facebook page for quicker news updates so that people know that we do that. I'm not convinced that's a good idea. I know there is a no comment ability for a Facebook page, so that might be something we might want to think about down the road. And then last but not least, some bad news that Josh Dodge resigned effective as of September 7th. So we'll be looking for a part-time person to work at the recycle center. And I guess I'd like to go on record as saying he was a wonderful employee and will be greatly missed. That's it.
All right, thank you. Any more board comments? Correspondence? Committee reports. Yes.
Parks and Rec would like to report, our campground income for June and July was $2,185. There are new signs, we've got informational signs for the Wella Campground and Siswick Boat Launch. I'll be working with Artie to get those installed. The flowing well, which I reviewed the health department report on it. I contacted Caustic Well Repair at Matt Hipsher's recommendation. And I'll be meeting him to look at our options to fix the flowage area there, that it doesn't accumulate around the wellhead. That seems to be the issue, that can't make it to that discharge pipe that's currently there. Also, I attended a large social gathering at the Sunset Pavilion several weeks ago, and I received many complaints about the soft, muddy ground around it and dry mud on the concrete itself. So for next year, I'm going to ask in the budget in our, I think it's October, to install the decking there, and also to put in crushed stone, compacted stone around it with a handicap access ramp to that new decking. So that's it for the parks lot.
Any other committee reports?
Short-term rental committee did not meet, no new applications for a month, so this fall we'll be looking at the ordinance and probably leave that alone, but we'll be looking at maybe the process for the renewals. The renewals is a little cumbersome.
The application form.
The application form, yeah. We'll be looking at the forms.
Any other committee reports? Sanitary district? Mark?
Yeah, I'm the president of the Canal Sanitary District here in Corning. And at our, first of all, I'll start off by saying that we filed our annual report for 2024, and we got a C++. So that is looking up. We still have problems with getting a D in our effluent, but other than that, our sanitary district is operating just fine. At our last meeting, July 21st, we made 2 resolutions, and I brought a copy of our minutes to all of the individuals on the board. I guess the big resolution is Resolution 2503. Be it resolved that whereas the Bell Sanitary District Number 1 wishes to serve all customers located in the town of Bell in Bayfield County, now therefore be it resolved, the Bell Sanitary District Number 1 formally requests the town of Bell begin the process of annexing all the properties within the town of Bell not being currently served by the Bell Sanitary District. So all property owners of the town of Bell will be included in our Bell Sanitary District Number 1, and all will be included in debt service and costs incurred to operate the system. And that was passed unanimously by our board. That was on July 21st. Speaking to our attorney, said that the town needs to act on this. So I'm not really sure what the protocol is. It might be special meetings. It might be, but I was told that you need to probably contact your attorney and see what you need to do. Without having all of the individuals within the township participate in the funding for the project, it will place an unfair burden on the existing people within the district, in that the new plant is for people, everyone outside the district, and not anyone within the district. So we'd like to have everybody in our sanitary district. And we could form a new sanitary district that's more costly, and we didn't really feel a need for that. So the easiest solution for our attorney, John Carlson, would be to have all this property annexed within the boundaries of sanitary district number 1. Because otherwise, there's no way that we can probably retire the debt that we're going to incur when we build this. And we want everyone to share equally based on their assessed valuation. So I'm figuring it's gonna be $50,000 a year. That I'm hoping is the high number. That would go into the property tax bill. Question?
Yeah, so it sounds like if I'm already a member of the district, I'm gonna have to pay more to help the people that have the septic tanks outside of the district use our ponds and sewage tanks.
That's correct. But I'd like to remind everybody that this will prolong the useful life of our existing system, which is operating very well, based on the CMDR report. Now, this collection system is 35 years old. And it's operated very well, it's very well maintained. And so by allowing all of the hauled waste to go to a separate treatment facility, will save additional wear and tear, because the holding tank waste is different than the collection area waste. We're not sure why, but it seems to be more concentrated, and was the reason we had to treat our lagoons with alum to reduce the phosphorus when we discharge. So this way, we know we're going to have to add alum and treat the new treatment facility. I can go on too. We've got 3 treatment options. The DNR has put on the table, I think I mentioned this before, but they put on the table the opportunity for us to discharge down our existing discharge route to the lake. There was 3 options, okay? We could either discharge the way we had planned with the spray. DNR really thinks that's too expensive. Okay. We can discharge with a pipe, continuously discharge by pipe directly into the lake, which I'm astonished at, actually.
Why don't you explain what you mean by that?
It's a continuous discharge, so we don't have a large storage facility.
But what is being discharged?
Treated waste.
I know what it is, but just explain it for me.
Okay. What's being discharged is the treated waste, and it has to meet the same criteria as the waste that's currently being discharged out of our lagoons semi-annually. So we discharge twice a year. But prior to discharge, we have to take special samples, and we sample throughout the whole discharge process to make sure they're within our parameters of our permitted discharge limits. And the only time we've had a problem was when we had the phosphorus. Phosphorus was too high, and our whole lagoons had to be treated with alum. So, and basically, to me, it's just kind of a joke, because all the alum does is attach to the phosphorus and it falls to the bottom of the lagoon. So you're not getting rid of it; it's just going to the bottom of the lagoon. But anyway, so that's what we had to do when we treated it. So the water will be potable water. And prior to discharge, everything has to be tested and approved by the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. We have a private firm test it, not the DNR, but they get a copy of that, and they say yes or no.
When do you usually discharge your
Spring and fall. So that would change, Paul, because our lagoons only have a certain capacity. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work at this moment. But as soon as we do know for sure, that we will certainly share that. Because there's probably going to be public hearings about this. And we will have all the alternatives that I've kind of laid out for people to discuss and talk about. So the easiest solution for the sanitary district, and something that we're all comfortable with on the board, is to discharge down the same easement that we've had since 1989. It's worked well, we haven't had a problem, and we're not having problems with the residents. So that is the easiest solution. They really don't like the spray irrigation. They just don't. I think the reason I don't like it is we didn't look at this as an alternative, and I think I mentioned before, I didn't think this would ever be on the table. I didn't, I really thought that they would never allow us to discharge more water toward the lake, even potable water, so. And the reason that this is necessary, Phil has been doing a lot of Excel work and forecasting where we're going to be. And it appears that sometime around December of this year, we'll have to stop taking waste from the local people with septic tanks based on what currently is occurring. So all of our volumes are higher than they've been in the past years. And we're not surprised. You know, we've got more people here, more short-term rentals. And I want everyone to remember that for 35 years, we haven't had to invest much money other than user fees into our sanitary collection system, which I think is a tribute both to the board previous to me and also the operators that we've had. We've been able to take care of lots of things that otherwise would have cost a lot of money. So this is just, and these things will continue to happen. I guess I'm surprised it lasted 35 years. Some of these things don't last that long. No questions?
Okay, just one more question.
Sure.
So the Town of Bell Sanitary District doesn't discharge sewage into Lake Superior.
It does not. Never has. And never, and God willing, never will.
Thank you.
Are we allowed to ask questions?
Sure.
Am I to understand that our property in the town of Bell, I don't think we're in the cemetery district, we have a septic system
Gravity,
yeah,
traditional.
so we're gonna have to pay for people who did not put a mound system in or a septic system through our taxes.
I don't know how else to do it, but the answer is yes.
Well, once every 3 years, your stuff has to get hauled there too, so there's that.
Plus you're a good citizen, so you're in the town hall, you patronize the businesses. It helps everybody. There's gonna be people just like you, you know. There's gonna be vacant landowners that have to pay money.
Will the sanitary district with their new system take septage?
That I'm not sure of.
Okay, so then her or my mound or RD's mound or whatever else will not be included with our sanitary system.
We do not know that right now.
Right.
But I have told our engineering firm I would like to be able to do that. So I don't know how to answer your question, Matt. But I would like to be able to do that.
Some people have already invested a lot of money into
I know they
their
have.
own personal septic plant at their house.
I'll give you my example. I bought my house and on our wedding day, my system, which was a failed system, collapsed and they wouldn't let me repair it. So the county said I had to put in 2 holding tanks. I said, well, the sanitary district is right around the corner. I still had to put in 2 holding tanks, and then they filled them with dirt. So I've been kind of around the stuff with this too. And if someone's got a better solution, I would like to hear it. What we do plan to do, we talked about this at the board, but we didn't make a motion on it. We'll have a 2-tiered pricing system. Because we'll have to generate income just for the operating of the new second plant. We're going to charge the people from out of the town of Bell a higher price. We don't know how much that will be at this time. We don't have the numbers. And we're gonna charge the town of Bell residents less because they're paying all the costs. So we're gonna charge the people from out of our township more money for their waste when it's hauled in. And we'll do that through the hauler. the haulers will be forced to give us the address of all the people they're hauling into our system. And we anticipate an extra, I think it was 1.2 million right away, gallons that will be placed into our system from out of town. Because Herbster doesn't want to take any more, neither does Port Wayne. The only thing I do know for sure is that there is capacity. It's not Bayfield, what's the sanitary district right next to it? Pikes Bay. They have additional capacity. So people can always take their waste there. But I'm anticipating that with the new campground going in, and with their estimates of being, it was what, 700,000 gallons a year?
About 20,000.
Yeah, it was pretty, so we're gonna pick up that revenue too. And with the new, hopefully the senior housing coming in, we'll see how that works out. Because we don't know how many units that'll be, but that'll be an additional demand on our infrastructure. And right now, technically, we couldn't handle that unless we were to cut the people off who we can't accommodate by hauling in their waste. So you guys did the right thing, and thank you very much. I do.
Well,
You did,
but
you did the right thing. Jesse and I talk about that every meeting. We'd like to get everyone to, rather than put holding stations, we build a mountain system. But I have told the engineer, we'd like to accommodate septic waste. And Phil just got some information today from the county on the township and what kind of systems they have. So it's going to be possible for us to forecast the amount of septic waste that we will have to process every 3 years. So we will be able to take that into consideration. But that's another level of bureaucracy for the DNR. Yeah, we go into a different phase when we start thinking septic, but I'd like us to be able to do that. That was kind of a long-winded answer.
Well, just so everybody's clear, there's a difference between septic and holding tanks. That's,
But I'll answer anybody's question about anything.
The debt service, is that gonna be a fee that's based on assessment, or is that just a flat rate that goes out to everyone?
Well, that's a good question. It's going to depend on which design the sanitary district boards feels is the best for the town of Bell. We have all these different options, like we've got, as I said, the pipe to the lake. That's still treated waste, but it's a pipe. We could use our existing easement, which is basically a discharge of 99,000 gallons per day. That happens twice a year. We could use that same easement. Okay, the DNR is allowing that, which surprised me.
99,000 gallons twice a year?
Yeah, that's a day.
Oh,
Okay. Our tanks, both of our holding tanks are about 7,200,000 gallons. So that's what we do. The first tank is where all of the waste goes, and then it's just basically allowed naturally through bugs in the system
sure.
to get to the point where we move it into pond 2. And then in pond 2, it does more of the bugs. The bugs take care of the waste. And we sample that twice a month to make sure that we're on track. And then before we discharge, we make sure that it's potable water. So now we're going to have to go to a treatment situation, which is new to us, to be frank. But we had to do it one other time. So it's not brain surgery, but this is a totally different system that we could go into probably later in a public hearing as to how this will work. But all of the hauled waste will go into one place, and all the collection system water will go into one place. And I think it's gonna prolong the useful life of our existing system, which is basically gravity and grinder pumps, and accommodate future growth. Both within, the network of the collection system of the sanitary district, as well as any additional holding tank customers that can't get into the system for whatever reason. So I think it's a good long-range solution for kind of a short-term problem, but we're trying to look ahead.
Yeah, I'm just curious if it'll be a regressive fee of projects.
And the other thing is, we're assuming that the cost total is gonna be 3 million something, okay? Currently, we're gonna get a 0% interest loan from the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources, because they need this type of lagoon system put in. There's a need for this, so they're gonna give us a 0% loan, which is great. And in addition, we qualify for debt forgiveness. Right now, changes every year, $2.1 million. So I am anticipating having to finance $1 million over 20 years. So that's where that $50,000 a year came from. That would be just the debt service. Now, if we can cover our operational costs and have a surplus, we won't need that much money. But I think to be totally transparent, I would say it's, for now, we're anticipating it's gonna be the debt service amount that we will have to levy.
And it'll be based on valuation.
Yes,
That was his question.
Yeah. yes, on the valuation of your
It'd
property.
be like the town, like a school district, like the vocational schools that are on your property tax.
No,
Yes.
that was where I was.
And then the other thing we can remember is, do we have to do this? The answer is no. We could cut off all the holding tank customers and continue to operate. Okay, that's my fallback position. If all the funding falls apart, that's what we have to do.
You force them all to take them out.
You can't force anybody to do anything.
No, I mean,
Well, the Bayfield County is
What-
the one who established it. They allow you to put in the holding tanks. So that's their option. So our absolute worst case scenario is to do nothing and slowly have to cut off the hauled-in waste and just be a collection system.
At what point is it?
I think it's being short-sighted, though, to be real honest. I think there's a problem that we can solve.
At what point is it debt forgiveness?
After the end of the project.
So you'll start paying the loan because you need that in order to do the project.
Well, it's very interesting, Mary Beth, because it's, here's the deal. You have to have interim financing, which the DNR is gonna pay with interest. But that cost is gonna be part of the final project. So I've been working with Bremer Bank, and they want all this stuff, and they want audits of the sanitary district. Our revenue's $40,000 a year, it's like pretty silly. But they want audits for about 3 years, and this, that, and the other thing. So I did call Security State Bank today. And they told me what they wanted, and it's a lot less punitive, a lot less costly. And we do qualify as a municipal bond. So, but I'm going to do my best not to have to borrow interim, because that just adds to the total cost. The total forgiveness is this X amount of money. So whatever we can do to minimize all of our upfront costs, the better off we're all going to be. Yeah, this was my, I kind of thought it was going to happen this way, and it did. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't. There's a limit. We used to, for a while there, we thought we were getting Tammy Baldwin's 1.3 million. Okay, that was an earmark. that was cut by the current administration, plus the DNR 2.1 million. But the rules for the DNR loan forgiveness program is that is not Wisconsin money. This really surprised me. That's not, it's all federal money. So federal money cannot go over the $2.1 million. So even if we get Debbie Mullins earmarked, that means we'll get less from the DNR, and that forgiveness won't be, it'll be the 2.1 minus whatever we get from other federal sources. It's very convoluted, but that's the rule. You can only spend so much federal money on a project like this right now.
Do you have any final thoughts on that? We need to move on. I think we need to.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Well, hold on.
I do. I just ran
No.
across the street. I was watching this on my phone.
Okay, hold on.
And I'm sorry, in layman's terms, we are doing just fine with the amount of waste going through Cornucopia. We need bigger, we need better. We need a lot of money. But we don't have the authority to cut down on the rental properties that keep getting admitted. Every meeting that I watch, there's more. It's like, it's fine, boom, it's fine, boom. We got more waste going out. And now we're getting attacked by like cyber bullies or, I mean, come on, you guys all know what's going on here. We're getting accused of dumping waste into Lake Superior, and now we have to defend ourselves. And there's a lot of money at stake here. We need the sand. Hoop is a big deal here, you know?
I'm not gonna disagree with you.
I'm sorry, I just ran across the street. This is ridiculous. Why are we even talking about human waste in Cornucopia? The place is getting bigger. We keep inviting people to get bigger, but we're defending ourselves for trying to make it better. I don't understand this, but in layman's terms, that's what's going on.
Okay, well, there's no decisions being made right now. Mark is just giving a little presentation for informational sake. We don't have anything on the agenda tonight for that, so this is just informational. So we're moving on now.
Could Phil add a little bit? It
No,
won't
I'm
take long.
sorry, I'm done.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Sorry, Mark.
It's all right.
Public comment period? Yes.
The garden group is wanting everybody to continue to enjoy the garden as it is this summer. It's turned out to be really quite lovely. However, we do have an ask, and that ask is we need to recruit a couple more people to help us out because we're getting worn out is what it really amounts to. So can we I could make a note and put it on the door or on somewhere in here, but could we put a note on the website that just says asking for more help and write that up? And then, I just think that would help, because the fall is coming up and it's a lot of work to get cleaned up for the fall. And I want to say a huge thank you for getting the water fixed in the back. It really helps a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Roger?
I'd like to give a short update on senior housing. Let's start out with our mission, just to remind everybody, our mission is to provide housing for seniors 62 and older that are able to live independently and one they can afford. So our August update is we've drafted a timeline or a milepost schedule to help us keep in line, and we've distributed a copy for you. Batesville County Housing Authority is preparing an advertisement in accordance with their rules to solicit properties for sale. Going out and saying anybody interested in selling property for this purpose, we're interested in talking to you. Our group, at the same time, will put together a specification for properties that could be considered, such as on the cemetery district and within walking distance of the business district. We did request a letter of support, and we'd like to point out that it's not tied to a specific site. In addition, we're planning to hire a project engineer or engage a contractor with some of the remaining WIDA funds. The purpose will be to expand the timeline detail, site design details, and building specifications sufficiently complete for proposals from modular or conventional builders. And last but not least, our target to break ground is July 1st, 2026. That's our Any questions from the board?
Public comments, Mike?
Yeah, thank you. So, it's the first time I've been to a meeting here in Corny in a while, and it's because there's a particular thing that got me pretty worked up last week. I just want to say that I think the best way to deal with a bully is stand up to him, right? Come on, let's go. And even if you get your butt kicked, you still won because you stood up. A little while, you guys are going to go into closed session and decide whether or not you should do just that. I urge you to do so, and I urge you to go after him aggressively. Enough is enough with that guy. And it's time to stand up. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I just want to make a brief comment on the open book session I had with Northern Wisconsin Assessment Service. I think they were very open to discussing some of the issues we had. And corrected a long-term mislabeling of our property. We were charged a lot more than we should have been. And that was hopefully resolved for them. So I think they did a real good job, real great people to work with. It's a good idea to go with this company as far as I'm concerned. Thank you.
Any more public comments?
I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody that not only came to the cornucopia day, which was very successful, but especially to the people that helped. And it was a wonderful event, very successful, a lot of work, but a lot of the results are good.
Nothing in numbers yet, or too soon?
Thank you. Any other public comments? All right, going into old business, letter of support for senior housing. We do have a draft letter from Roger. We have a volunteer to read it. Okay, I'll do it. I would have sent this out earlier, but I forgot to ask Roger for it, so I just asked him, and he gave it to us tonight, so we can make a decision on approving this or not. So he already kind of went over this a little bit in his comments, but this is for a resolution of support letter of intent between the owners of the proposed land for senior housing development in a BCHA. Whereas multiple surveys of town of Bell citizens over several years have indicated interest in developing senior housing. Whereas on October 10th, 2023, the town of Bell board issued a letter of support to the senior housing work group, or the work group, to continue study and development of senior housing proposals. Whereas the work group proceeded to define a mission as follows: evaluate the feasibility of developing housing for seniors ages 62 plus years old, living independently at rents they can afford. Living independently at rents they can afford on April 25th, 2024. Whereas the Town of Bell Board expressed its approval and support for BCHA's application for the June 1st, 2024 project funding under the Thrive Rural program. Whereas one of the first steps in moving forward with any development is to gain control of the site with a letter of intent or purchase agreement. Whereas such letter of intent between the owners of the proposed land and the BCHA has been drafted and contains contingencies for title, survey, governmental approvals, engineering, and financing that would allow any developer to walk away if any of the contingencies are not met. Whereas the BCHA is prepared to sign such agreement. Whereas the working group would like to have a letter of support from the town board. Such letter of support shall not obligate the town of Bell to take any action or to spend funds on those activities. Whereas the working group has no authority to commit the town of Bell to take any action or to commit any funds. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Bell Board of Supervisors hereby expresses its approval and support for such letter of intent between the owners of the proposed land and the BCHA, and for the group's continued study and development of senior housing proposals. That's what we're considering.
I have one question, and that is the Bayfield County Housing Authority, if they buy that land and own that land, will we have final say on whether or not we want to go through with building senior housing? It was my understanding that the town would always have the last say, and we were gonna have a big town meeting about it, and the town would decide whether or not they wanted to go through with it. My only concern is that if we approve this and say, go ahead, buy the land, then it's county land. And I think the county can do whatever they want on county land. But I might be wrong about that. But that's the only concern I have.
Well, I'd give permission for you to ask Roger that.
Well, we've talked, and Roger believes strongly that they will not do anything in the town of Bell that the town of Bell doesn't want them to do. But a belief is only, I just wanna get it out there, that's my concern.
Well,
No, I agree. I just kind of wonder if you would like to include that somehow into a letter of support?
Well, I guess I won't vote to support the letter unless it's in there.
I would agree.
But I mean, I'm only one vote, so I just speaking my mind.
Yeah, no, I think that's a valid concern. I would favor that myself.
But I mean, I just don't know if any of that's legally binding.
Well, I think more than anything, a letter of support just shows our position. I don't know.
Well, are we in favor of senior housing? Is the town in favor? I know the surveys that were conducted says the town is.
Town is, I think. And we had that charrette, and there was a lot of support for it. I think the rubber is starting to meet the road now. I think we need to honor all the work that's gone into it, and I think we should support it. And but I think you have a valid point that we want control over it. We don't want it to slip through the cracks and have the county acquire land that is not going to be used for the intended purpose. I don't think that would happen. It's certainly possible.
Well, I would propose, since this was a draft that we didn't get to look at ahead of time, that you could draft one with Roger, since I think you have the right idea, I guess.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is that if the board wants to go ahead with public housing in the town of Bell, then go ahead and adopt it. Because what's the difference? If the county does what we want them to do, that's fine.
There's no issue.
Right, there's no issue. And so if the board, if this board isn't, the majority of this board is in favor of going for public housing, senior housing, then let's just do it. Okay? But,
with no caveats.
right, I guess I'd like, we don't hear from everybody in town. And that's their fault.
Everybody had an opportunity.
I'm not, exactly, this process has been perfect.
It's been very, very transparent.
This process has been just wonderful, all the way through. There's no better way to do what's happening than the way this was done.
You're gonna have
Absolutely.
naysayers no matter.
I understand your concern, but I think that should be brought up to Bayfront County Housing Authority about the fact that if they're going then we should be communicating with them to make sure your concerns are taken care of.
But again, I'm only one vote. If the board
Right,
is all in favor of the senior housing, just vote, it would be 4-1. It's just not a big deal.
then we don't have to deal with.
Right.
With them, because they'll just, in fact, we will be giving them permission to do it then too.
Exactly, that's what this really is. This is the decision. This is the decision. I think. And that's fine, however it goes.
It's an endorsement.
Yeah, however it goes, it's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's a good definition of it. It's an endorsement.
It's an endorsement to proceed with senior housing, not low-income housing or other type of housing, strictly senior housing.
Yes. And I like that term better than, public housing.
Right.
I think it fits.
And it's denoted that way. It's senior housing. It's not workforce housing, it's not low-income housing, it's senior housing. So,
So does somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we offer a letter of recommendation to proceed with the senior housing as presented.
This letter? You're saying this letter?
Yeah.
The draft.
The draft, yeah, the draft.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I kind of discussed it out of order.
I'll allow.
I did too.
If there's any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. Aye.
So,
Two opposed.
two opposed, that's you, and,
All
okay.
right, the motion carries. Moving on, review proposals for the Liberty Shelter. What do we have for that?
You?
I don't see numbers on here. They might need to review this further. Is there another?
Yep.
One there? Paul, did you see this yet?
It looks like he's saying this could cost $20,000.
So you just had a flat price on that?
It says it could easily cost $20,000 to construct something like this, and then he's got his drawings.
So is that any up to?
Yes.
This one looks like they're just proposing a sum of $43,192.
I guessed 30, didn't I? How much does hard cost?
So I don't know what you want to do with that information.
Well, can we have somebody that's a contractor look at the two proposals? And then, if we think this proposal will work, and bring it back and at the next meeting, and then, I mean, I'm certainly not a contractor, I don't necessarily want to spend $20,000 on something that will collapse and only last 2 years. So I don't, maybe the thing to do would be to look at these proposals in more detail. I don't know what's legal to do.
Well, we just asked for proposals, not bids. We're not
I
opening
think we
bids.
did ask.
No, not bids.
Okay, just proposals.
Proposals, yes. So
I mean, the $20,000 number sounds reasonable to me.
And even if they are bids, you can reject all bids.
right. But if we want to look at that further, I would say we don't accept any proposals at this time, and we can compare them and look into them and see if we want to move forward with anything in the future.
I guess I'm reluctant to use somebody's ideas and then send them out
Oh,
on
yeah.
bids to somebody else. You know, we have two bids. We have
No,
two
we have-
proposals, excuse me, two
We have
proposals.
Proposals.
And what would, so if we decided we wanted to use the, up to $20,000 proposal, what would we do? We put
So
it
I
out
don't
on
know if
bid?
we want to make that decision right now with just what is on that paper.
Okay,
I wouldn't be comfortable with that.
No, I wouldn't
did
either.
you look at it?
Oh, but I mean, I wouldn't be comfortable based on just limited information.
Was it broken out, labor cost, material cost?
No.
No.
I mean, I think we could look into that more. If we haven't had anybody else interested in the project, we could maybe talk to them and see if there is something that would work for the town. But I don't think we can make any decision at this meeting.
Yeah, my concern is that how long will this take? How will this process be?
Well, a month till the second
Okay, so
Tuesday of next month.
We can get it done by the end of the month, you think?
Yeah,
Okay. That makes sense then.
Just table it until
yeah.
we have more information.
Okay, well, I'll move that we table any decision on a proposal for a Liberty Shelter until the September meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Since we have a motion, it's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. There's no opposed. That'll be next month.
So do we contact these two people and tell them that we're going to be reviewing them and we table it for a month?
Yeah.
Okay,
You can do that.
you can do that, I can do that,
You can
very
do
good.
that. Yeah. Okay, new business. Letter of support for the town of Keystone Flap Grant. I get to read another letter. So, the town of Keystone is looking for a grant for Forest Road 236, which is Brinks Road. And I'll read their letter that they have asked us to support and sign. And it says, letter of support, flap grant application for Forest Road 236, Bayfield County, Wisconsin. On behalf of the town of Bell, I am pleased to offer our support for the town of Keystone's application to the Eastern Federal Lands Access Program for the reconstruction and rehabilitation of Forest Road 236 in Bayfield County, Wisconsin. Forest Road 236 provides critical access to the Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest, serving not only timber operations and public recreation, but also tribal treaty rights such as hunting and gathering. The road connects Highway US 2 with numerous federal forest roads and recreational trails, including the Tri-County Corridor, and functions as a vital link for both residents and visitors. This project will reconstruct deteriorated pavement and subgrade, address safety hazards specifically on dangerous curves with documented crash history, improve stormwater management and drainage at the US 2 approach, preserve year-round access for legal roads critical to the timber industry, enhance multimodal travel for cyclists, ATV, UTV, and snowmobile riders. These improvements align with our agency's goal to support safe, sustainable, and equitable access to public lands. We recognize the town of Keystone's efforts to maintain this critical route and commend their pursuit of federal assistance to enhance its long-term viability. We respectfully urge your favorable consideration for this important project. Motion?
I move we approve it.
I'll second. The motion is made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I guess I don't know what, I use that road 3 times a week. And I guess I'm not personally, selfishly interested in having more traffic on it. There's logging trucks on it right now, and that's, they seem to be getting around just fine. I don't know what the problems are by, I don't understand. Road construction or anything like that.
And I've been down there for probably a year, but, my recollection it wasn't all that bad, but, there are terms and stuff on it. I don't know how extensive this reconstruction is going to be.
Exactly, that's.
Well, I can tell you where it's not that much of the road.
It's not the whole thing.
No,
It's just.
it's in the town of Keystone.
Oh, so it's right outside, I know, yeah, that road is the worst.
It's the worst part of the road, and I don't remember. Matt, do you know how many miles they said?
I do not know how many miles Keystone has, but I know part of their, part of the project was to replace a 30-inch diameter pipe on that stretch of road that is failing. It's basically the first segment of road. I would be lying if I don't think it goes to Cherryville. There's another.
Okay.
Right close to where the pipeline crosses.
Right. Okay.
Right off the US Highway.
That is,
That
that.
drive right there we're talking about is where that one house is on the corner.
It's 1.1 miles. So it's
One-
not-
1.1?
It's just, yeah.
You look at the corners. Corners are fun, we don't want to lose our corners.
I would move to, accept a flat grant application for the town of Keystone.
We already had a motion on the floor. Motion is made and seconded to accept it. We were just in discussion, so. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say aye. There's no opposed. All right, propane bids.
All right, I received 2 bids. One is Midland for $1.35, and the second is Como at $1.749.
I move to accept Midland's bid.
Second that.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to accept Midland's bid at $1.35. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say aye. All opposed. All right, we have our second public comment period now because then we have a closed session. So is there any public comments on this one? Yes, Matt.
I was informed that our new town patrol truck will be delivered tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
So, I'll have the final invoice tomorrow as well, so. 30 days or something. So hopefully that's not noticed, but I was really surprised myself, but it's gonna be here.
Thank you so much for all the work you put into
Yep.
it.
And enjoy.
This will actually be red, I know that.
All right, any more public comments? All right, we're gonna go into closed session. If you wanna stick around and come back after the closed session, you're welcome to. Otherwise, thank you for coming. Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made, second, go into closed session. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say aye. Yeah, we'll let everybody get on.
Hey, Jackie.